so incredible to us, and we've had them at the White House, a lot of the pastors and respected people. I recognize a lot of them just originally by just seeing them on television for so many years, right? Including you.
I was going to say, people don't realize that we met, literally, you were watching television and called me out of the blue. And I'll never forget, you said, you've got the it factor. And I said, oh, sir, we call that the anointing. And that was our hello. And from the Swaggart families here, from Reverend Jimmy Swaggart to so many other great people that you've watched.
Is Jimmy Swaggart here?
He couldn't make it, but the whole family is over here.
Where is Jim? I love Jimmy
Donnie's
Swaggart.
Here.
I don't even know if he likes me, but I think he does. But where is Donnie? Where's Donnie? We got to see Donnie.
And they literally have one of the biggest networks.
Hi, Donnie.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, say hello. How's he doing? Okay? That guy is a talented guy. So are you, by the way. Good job. Good job. Say hello to him.
And I think
terrific.
So many people don't know this side, so we've taken a little bit of time because I have had the up close and personal seat in your life, to see God in your life. And we'll talk about faith offices and economy and immigration and everything in just a moment. But, the media attacks you relentlessly. And you've been under lawfare and the absolute worst. I'll never forget Ralph Reed and Joanne, where we were at the Journey concert, my kids, and somebody said the president's been shot. And I froze, like so many people, started crying and started praying. But when you rose up with fight, fight, fight,
Thank you.
I think so many
See, this means she likes me because she's got tears. If she didn't have tears, no, she does. She really does. She's a great person. Go ahead, please.
Yes, sir. It was very difficult for so many of us that do dearly love you and not only respect you as president and what you've done, but love you as the man. And we understand that. And I think the world got to see in one of the worst situations that you knew and know that that wasn't luck, that that was God, because he has a purpose in your life. So share just a tiny bit about God in your life now. And because we all have these journeys of faith. We have ups, we have downs, we fall, we get back up, but you've consistently had this deep respect and honor of God in your life. And that day, I think, showed the world when you knew that God saved you for a purpose.
Well, thank you very much.
Amen.
That was quite a day. But we had a tremendous crowd in Butler, Pennsylvania. And, it was an amazing set of circumstances. And, my two sons are shooters. They're very good, very high quality. They'd be like a scratch golfer or better. I mean, they're both very good. They know everything about guns, and they learned it from their grandfather. They spent time in Europe, back and forth during summers and all, and they're very good. But they understood, they know exactly what the weapon was that they used, that this person used. And it was 130 yards away. And when Don called me first, he said, somebody was protecting you up there, because it's almost impossible for even a bad shot to miss you from that distance. Now, he didn't miss me. Probably an eighth of an inch is the difference. And it all happened to be because I was looking there to the side on a chart on illegal immigration. Can you believe it? That famous chart, that now famous chart. But I never do it. It's very interesting, because if you look at the circumstances, I never do it. I never use that chart at the beginning, and it's always on the left. I never do it at the right, and I only use it maybe 15 or 20% of the time. I don't use it for every speech. And You know, I go off teleprompter a lot, which is, I think, better, but it's nice to have a president that can go off teleprompter, right? You know, we don't seem to be having that. We don't seem to be having that much anymore. But anyway, so I was talking about something, and I just said, you know, pull down that chart if you would. And I turned to the right very quickly, and ping, and I knew something was real bad. And I went down. I think I was screaming, probably go down, because, you know, I don't think I would have been that. If you see the thing, which you've only seen about 10,000 times, it's probably the most played clip ever. But if you see it, I mean, the move down was pretty fast. And I think I was probably listening to different people, including Secret Service, to get down. But no, I got hit. And, you know, hit hard. And but it was an eighth of an inch. And I was down there, and some things are surreal. I was asked a question the other day by a big journalist. What was it like when you won the presidency? And in fact, it was Joe Rogan that asked me this question. That was very good question. I thought it was a good, and you know, I talked about it. It was sort of surreal because all of a sudden I'm riding down to the White House and I'm passing a building that I just built, a hotel, Pennsylvania Avenue, beautiful. And I sold it to Waldorf. It's a Waldorf Astoria now. It's nice. And it was very successful. And then we go down a little further and we're at the White House. And then all of a sudden I'm standing by the Lincoln bedroom. I said, you know, that was such a surreal experience. But when I was shot in front of, you know, massive numbers of people, tremendous numbers, you couldn't even see the end. And I was down there. I was absolutely, I fully understood what had happened. I was shot in the ear, and the Secret Service thought I was shot elsewhere. They thought I was shot much more than once. And I guess 8 bullets were shot, and the Secret Service person shot 1. Also helped, but as I understand it, probably by the local police who shot 1, also hit the rifle, and Secret Service guy hit the target. But both of them, you know, played a very big role. Otherwise, you would have had a much, because he had a lot of ammunition, this guy, and a lot of people. And it was wall-to-wall people. It would be like, you know, taking everybody, going back as far as you can. It was as dense as it is right in this room right now. So it could only hit people. But I knew exactly where it was. So I knew it was my ear. They said no. I said, no, it's my ear. I got like 7 or 8 guys sitting on top of me. They were heavy. They were very heavy people. And anyway, and by the way, they were very brave because, you know, they jumped on top of me and the bullets were flying right over their head. Secret Service was very brave. They were very brave. And, you know, they really were, it was incredible. I heard the bullets, you know, I didn't know, you hear those things are moving, and yeah. You hear them as clear as you can, as clear as I hear you. So anyway, but what I did see is when you're in that position, you have like this feeling that usually, a lot of times you wouldn't really understand. I had total, but when Don called me up, he said, Dad, you know what? For 130 yards, to me it sounded pretty far away, but for a shooter, 130 yards is like nothing. And he said, it's a miracle that that's when I first realized it's a miracle that bullet just hit your ear. It's a miracle. But if I didn't turn, so all of these circumstances, if I didn't turn at that exact angle, because he was right, exactly 90 degrees, he was exactly there. If I turned halfway, no good. If I turned a little bit past that, no good. It had to be that exact angle. And I was going further, but this was the angle, and this was when the bullet came in, because 100th of a second later, I would have been turned too far, because I was going further, another 25%, because the chart was back here. So I was doing that, and it went by. And he said that, you know, God has to have done this because it's impossible. Think of all the circumstances when you think.
Amen.
Think of all the circumstances. You're turning. That's a big luck right there, right? Big something. Something happened that you'd be just in that position. And it was only 1/8 of an inch off, right? So it's like, I mean, it's incredible. But also, as I said, I'm never right. I'm always left. It's always at the end. I'd never take it up at the beginning. This was almost the first sentence of what I was talking about, right at the beginning, first paragraph at least. And so it was very early. So there were so many different things. And I remember Don, and then it was confirmed by Eric. Eric said, I can't believe it. And when I got to the hospital, the doctors said everything was great, unbelievable. But it was, the ear bleeds a lot, just in case. You don't want to find out about it. But the ear bleeds a lot. The doctor said like the most in the body has to do with cartilage. I don't know, but man, there was a lot. And I said, why does it? He said, let me tell you, before I tell you that, I suggest you go and buy a lottery ticket. The doctor told me that. I'm sitting in the... I said, why? He said, you are the luckiest guy. I've been doing this for 25 years. That I'm even talking to you is a miracle. Or that I'm talking to you is a miracle, right?
Absolutely.
So somewhere, all of us, we had a little help up there. And I would like to think, and I don't know this at all, but I would like to think that it's because he wants our country and maybe the world to be helped.